Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. My name is Marlon, and this is episode 49 of Mushroom City of Minecraft with a weather discussion that we will get to in the first hour, and then the second hour we will play Minecraft. Now, how you guys doing? Anybody had a good day, or hoping that you guys have better days ahead? For me, well, I just finished dinner, and I'm tired, but not tired enough to stream for you guys, because, I want to stream for you guys. It's chill, playing Minecraft. So, what are we doing right now? Okay, let's just get on with the weather right now. So, let's see what we got. Okay, so throughout the country, we have 92 active weather alerts. Sorry. 23 severe thunderstorm warnings in Missouri, Kansas, Colorado, Florida, Wyoming, Illinois, Nebraska, Texas, Wisconsin, I think I already said Missouri, and Canada. There is one flash flood emergency, and it's in Illinois and in Iowa. It's quite serious, folks, and it's not something to take lightly. Believe me, folks. It happened last week. Well, yeah, last weekend on the 4th of July, just about at least a week ago, on the 4th of July, and it cost hundreds of lives, and it was devastating. And the folks in central Texas are still reeling in from the storm, but now you're talking about another flash flood emergency in along somewhere in the Mississippi River, right between Iowa and Illinois. 14 flash flood warnings in Wisconsin, Iowa, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Illinois. Two special marine warnings in Wisconsin, Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan. And 11 special weather statements in Georgia, Alabama, Colorado, Wisconsin, Kansas, South Carolina, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas. 23 non-precipitation type of active weather alerts, 4 extreme heat warnings, 5 dense fog advisories, and 14 air quality alerts. 17 flood warnings, and 1 red flag warning. We'll get to that in a moment. Now let's start off in the Northeast, where there are pockets of thunderstorms throughout parts of the country. In the Northeast particularly, there are some showers and storms rolling across through the Northeast, through New England, through Maine, through Massachusetts, parts of Connecticut, Vermont, and even parts of upstate New York. For the past 3 hours, some thunderstorms have started to dissipate, but some of them have remained in the Catskills and in the Adirondacks too, Finger Lakes region too. And let's not forget about some thunderstorms in the central part of Pennsylvania, rolling in towards the northeastern part of the state. There is a flash flood warning in the center part of Pennsylvania, particularly just south of Williamsport and north of Lewisburg. In the New York City tri-state area, there are not much to discuss, with the exception of air quality alerts. Now, why is that, folks? Well, it just means that that's air pollution. That's air pollution concentrations that are becoming very unhealthy for sensitive groups, particularly those with underlying conditions, and that they need to be taken care of, be looked after, and get the proper care they need. Because even in days, even though the weather was nice. Hold on a minute. Even though the weather was nice, thing is, you can't really say everything's fine. Some people have health issues. And just better keep an eye on them, and keep them safe. Boston, some showers and thunderstorms just dissipated, just evaded to the north. The city, Philadelphia, not much going on. Thunderstorms rolling across through the Appalachian Mountains, through Maryland, all the way down towards Virginia. Yeah, it started to dissipate, though, in the mountainous parts of Maryland and eastern West Virginia. Just Beckley had some thunderstorms, in which those storms start to fade away right now. But there's plenty of storms going on in southwestern Virginia, all the way towards northern Virginia. There were some thunderstorms in the past 3 hours near Emporia and Victoria. They're still experiencing some showers and storms right now. Washington, D.C. area, they had some thunderstorms just outside the nation's capital. The District of Columbia, that has faded. Flood warnings have been issued just south of Raleigh, south of Fayetteville, Lumberton. Flood warnings are in effect in those parts of North Carolina. Scattered showers and some pockets of storms were present throughout the past 3 hours in western North Carolina, and especially some pop-up thunderstorms in the eastern part of North Carolina too, but it's not widespread though, unlike South Carolina, where they're for the past 3 hours, and still right now they're getting a lot of showers and thunderstorms all across the southern and western parts of the state, with a special weather statement in which it involves some strong thunderstorms, some gusty winds, and possibly small hail, but they don't say here. But still, you can't really be too sure. But flash flooding is a concern, though. But even though it's not really shown right now, it's not being issued. But still, just keep an eye on it. Georgia, plenty of thunderstorms throughout the Peach State. Southwestern Georgia getting a lot of storms going, especially in Atlanta. They're getting lots and lots of storms on the northern side of the city and the sprawling in the suburban parts of Atlanta too. But right now, those showers, those storms have downgraded to just being showers. But still, it's going to be a long night for those in the ATL. Two special weather statements just to the northeast of the city. And we go down to Florida, where there is a severe thunderstorm warning for both the Panhandle of Florida and southeastern Alabama, along with a special weather statement in Dothan, Alabama. Thunderstorms rolling across through the western end of the Panhandle of Florida. Elsewhere in the Sunshine State, as you can see, plenty of storms, thunderstorms right now in the southern half of the state, plus the central part as well, right along I-4. Getting thunderstorms going from Tampa all the way to Daytona Beach. And especially more storms are still occurring throughout the northeastern part of Florida, like Jacksonville, Gainesville, especially outside of Ocala. Now we go to Tennessee, where more thunderstorms are in the western half of the state, but the pop-up ones occurring in the northeastern part. But the ones that were in the western half, well, they started to fade away just a little bit due to the lack of daytime heating. We go to the rest of Alabama, where there's a special weather statement just south of Huntsville, Alabama, with plenty of rains and storms rolling across through the southern half of the state, especially the eastern part of the state too. As you can see, the past 3 hours we had storms going through Tupelo, through the University of Mississippi, and then started to fade away, but with some rain showers still present in the northern half of Alabama. But the southern half, as you can see, plenty of storms rolling across through the state, the southern half of the state, going to Yuzu City, Hattiesburg, but not much going on in Jackson, Mississippi. Gulfport, not much you can talk about in Gulfport, just some dry conditions for now. I mean, that's just for now anyway, just a little bit of showers creeping up down to Gulfport, Mississippi, Arkansas, northeastern sector of the state, with storms moving to the northeast, start to fade away right now, with two flood warnings just east of Little Rock. and plenty of some spotty storms rolling across through Louisiana, most notably in the northern half, but southern half they are getting as well, though it looks like as though they start to it's still only limited to those in the southeastern part of the state, though. In the northern half, the past 3 hours, there were storms, but it's only more focused towards the northeastern part of the state. Texas, well, let's see what we got for Texas. Severe thunderstorm warning in the northeastern corner of the panhandle of Texas. Hold on a minute, folks. Okay, so what do we got right now? Okay, I did say severe thunderstorm warnings in the northeastern corner of the panhandle of Texas. Special weather statement in the far western part of Texas near El Paso. Elsewhere throughout the Lone Star State, some spotty thunderstorms on the eastern part of Texas, from San Antonio all the way to Houston towards Texarkana. And as well as in the far western part of Texas, there's been some thunderstorms in the past 3 hours. But the storms in the eastern half of the state, they're moving towards the northeast as we speak. We go to Oklahoma, where there is special weather statement near Enid, Oklahoma. Yet storms are rolling across through to the southeast with another special weather statement in the far western panhandle of Oklahoma right now. Now let's go to the Ohio Valley, where Kentucky, just a few spotty showers in the past 3 hours, most notably in the eastern half of the Bluegrass State, but it's not widespread though. Ohio, conditions have improved throughout most of the state though. Now it's all clear. Indiana, also all clear at the moment. But in Illinois, it's quite a different story, where there's a flash flood warning, a severe thunderstorm warning, and a special weather statement near Ottawa and to the west of Ottawa, Illinois, with some lines of thunderstorms rolling across through the Mississippi Valley towards Wisconsin, Iowa, Missouri. All of that is making its approach towards Chicago, with special marine warning just located on the lake along the western side of Lake Michigan, just outside Chicago. And folks in Chicago, they need to brace themselves because storms with some strong winds and possibly some small hail and potential for flash flood warnings will be in effect in the Windy City. Strong thunderstorms may produce strong lightning. Got to be careful of that. Detroit, they're not going to get much storms because the storm is moving to pass on the northern side of the city. But Flint, they had endured some thunderstorms 3 hours ago. A special weather statement is still present just north of the city of Detroit. But still, thunderstorms are to the north and northeast of Detroit, going into Canada through Lake Huron. And in Wisconsin, there are some thunderstorms moving in towards Milwaukee, with a severe thunderstorm warning present there, along with 2 special weather statements, and as well as a special marine warning. And let's not forget about quality alerts throughout much of the Badger State. Flash flood warnings are in effect in the southwestern corner of Wisconsin. But it's going to be a long night for those on the southern 2/3 of Wisconsin. Plus, thunderstorms from Duluth, they're moving in towards the northern part of Wisconsin, and even making its presence but it's actually still there since 3 hours ago on the western end of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, with thunderstorms around. Let's go to Minnesota, where statewide they're getting air quality alerts all over. Flood warnings on the southern part of the state. Thunderstorms are rolling through from Minneapolis all the way to Duluth and International Falls, but right now it's mostly clear. Right now it's been a thing since about 3 to 2.5 hours ago. Right now things are letting up, but in the southwestern corner of the state, just a few thunderstorms remaining because of some storms that rolled in through South Dakota, through Sioux Falls, and then entered through Iowa, and it still is affecting places like Iowa, which we're getting to right now, where there are air quality alerts on the northern end of Iowa. Plenty of flash flood warnings on the eastern part of Iowa. Plenty of storms, heavy rains on the eastern side of the state too. Missouri, severe thunderstorm warnings are in place in the eastern and southern parts of the city. Pop-up thunderstorms on the southeastern part of the state of Missouri, including St. Louis. Kansas City, they've had their fair share of storms just 2 hours ago. Now they're passing through and affecting places just to the east and south of Kansas City. And we have a new severe thunderstorm warning, as you can see, folks, that has been issued recently, just about a few seconds ago. Yep, so the storm, every time when the storm passes, there's always a new severe thunderstorm warning just ahead of it. Now we go down through the line of some strong to severe thunderstorms to Kansas, where they're getting plenty of severe thunderstorms in the southeastern part of the state, from Wichita all the way towards just miles south of Kansas City. It's all because we have a stationary front that's present from Colorado all the way towards the Great Lakes, and then through upstate New York, western New York, I should say. A cold front is also present in Minnesota down towards Nebraska, becoming a stationary front, swinging through Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, and even parts of Oregon. We go to Nebraska, where a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued, just located in the southwestern corner of the state, with 2 special weather statements, and it's still ongoing right now in the western parts of the state, plus the northeastern part of the state too, from Grand Island all the way to Sioux City. Then we go to the Dakotas. In the Dakotas, there are some showers and a few thunderstorms rolling across through South Dakota. In some places, no, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't see any air quality alerts throughout South Dakota, but there are thunderstorms in the northeastern corner of North Dakota. There were some in Minot, but that's faded away, but new storms coming from the northwest or from the north, swinging in towards the southeast through North Dakota. Now we go to the Northern Rockies, where there is a red flag warning in the northeastern part of Montana. Elsewhere, it's quite mostly dry, and Idaho also dry right now. Just a few clouds from time to time, but nothing widespread though. Wyoming, clouds, showers, and even some thunderstorms are located in the southeastern corner of the state, but in the past 3 hours there were some showers and storms from Yellowstone swinging towards the state capital, but they have faded in the past 2 hours, and still are fading right now. A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued in Cheyenne, Colorado. Plenty of severe thunderstorm warnings for them on the northeastern part of the state, plus another one in the southeast part of the state with a special weather statement just to the southeast, and another one to the west-northwest, along with a flash flood warning just southeast of Pueblo. But throughout the I-25 corridor, plus the rest of eastern half of Colorado, plenty of thunderstorms to go around. Many of them are just strong, and they're coming through the Rockies right now. But those on the western half of Colorado, just some spotty showers and a few storms, but not as widespread as the eastern half of the state. Going to Utah, where there are clouds and showers throughout the southern eastern parts of the state, but it's not widespread though. Elsewhere, it's quite dry. We go to Nevada, where it's very dry for the past 3 hours. Nothing to report on. New Mexico, clusters of thunderstorms on the eastern half of the state. It's all because of this dry line that's located in places like Roswell. All that's responsible for only keeping thunderstorms just to the east on the eastern half of the state. Plus, there are some thunderstorms. Special weather statement and flash flood warning is located near Las Cruces in New Mexico, going into El Paso. In Arizona, mostly dry, though there are a few clouds and showers on the southeastern corner of the state, though. I mean, that's just in the past 3 hours. California, you're not getting much, although there are extreme heat warnings throughout the northwestern corner of the state. Oh, just a few pop-up showers and storms just outside of Redding, but it's not too significant, though. Now we go towards the Pacific Northwest, where there is an extreme heat warning in the southwestern corner of the state, as well as dense fog advisories from central Oregon along the coast up towards the southwestern corner of Washington state. For those out on the water, just be very careful, though. Just a few spotty showers and clouds, but other than that, it's quite dry. Now we change the scene to here. Just want to make sure. Okay. Now I'm going to half-ass this. Let's see if I can try to half-ass this. Okay, so what do we got? Light and variable winds throughout much of the northeast, though, but those along the coast, they're getting a lot of sea breeze right now. In some places, just up to 10 miles per hour, but other places like Boston, they're only getting winds of up to 25 miles per hour, up towards Bangor, Maine. But for the most part, temperatures in New England, they are in the mid-60s to the mid-70s. Upstate New York, temperatures are in the 70s to low 80s. The greater New York City area, mid-70s to low 80s. Pennsylvania, 70s to low 80s. Delmarva Peninsula, Western Maryland, and Washington, D.C. Temperatures are in the upper 70s to mid-80s. West Virginia, temperatures are in the 70s to low 80s, and in Virginia, temperatures are in the upper 70s to mid-80s. In the Carolinas, the interior parts of both states, both Carolinas, they do have light and variable winds, but on the eastern halves of each state, winds are moving towards somewhat generally towards the north, only up to 20 miles per hour, though, on the Outer Banks. Especially on the beaches, winds are moving towards the northeast, up to 20 miles an hour, though, but Outer Banks up to 25 to 30 miles per hour. Temperatures in the Carolinas, they are in the upper 70s to mid 80s. Tennessee, winds are very light and variable in the eastern half of the state. Western half, winds moving towards the north, up to 20 miles an hour. Temperatures are in the 80s. Georgia, for the most part, their winds are very light, mostly moving towards the north. The temperatures in the 80s. Let's go to Florida, where you have winds where they're very somewhat light and variable in the interior parts of the peninsula part of Florida. The Panhandle, winds moving towards the northeast at up to 20 miles per hour, including the beaches. But in the Keys, winds are moving towards the west at up to 30 miles an hour. Temperatures along the beaches in the peninsula part of Florida, You have the west coast, winds moving towards the west at up to 20 miles an hour, except for the Big Bend area where winds are moving towards the northeast at up to 20 miles an hour. In the Atlantic coast, winds are very light and variable. In South Florida, up north along the Atlantic coast, winds are moving towards the north at up to 20 miles an hour. Temperatures are in the upper 70s to mid 80s. Alabama, Mississippi, where you do have winds for the most part. They're moving in Alabama. They're moving towards the northeast up to 20 miles an hour for the entire state. Mississippi towards, well, just somewhat light and variable in the southern third of the quarter of the state. But elsewhere, winds moving towards the north up to 20 to 25 miles per hour, most notably in the central part of Mississippi near Jackson. Temperatures in Alabama and Mississippi, they're in the 80s. Arkansas, winds are moving towards the north generally in the southeastern and northwestern corners of the state, up to 20 to 30 miles an hour, with winds. Actually, temperatures are in the mid 80s to mid 90s. Louisiana, for the most part, winds are generally blowing towards the north, though very light, but they're moving at no more than 20 miles an hour. Temperatures are in the 80s. In Texas, as you can see, well, Texas, you have winds that are coming from the Gulf, shifting towards the north. Much of the state, winds are moving up to 20 to 30 miles an hour, but in the far western part of the state, winds, okay, so the western tip, winds are coming from the west, blowing up to 20 to 30 miles per hour, maybe a little higher in some areas, but converging with winds. They're in places like between Odessa and Alpine, the winds are shifting towards the west, becoming light and variable near Alpine. And what we have in the panhandle of Texas, temperatures are in the upper 70s to low 90s, so western Texas. In the 90s, South Texas. You got temperatures in the 80s, eastern and northeastern Texas. Temperatures are in the 80s to mid 90s. In Oklahoma, in the panhandle part of Oklahoma, winds are moving towards the northwest up to 20 miles an hour. The rest of the state, winds are moving towards the northeast, some places up to 20 to 30. Elsewhere, just light. Temperatures all across Oklahoma, they're in the 80s to low 90s. Okay, so what we have in eastern Kentucky, winds very light and variable there. In the western half, winds moving towards the north at up to 20 miles an hour. Ohio, for the most part, winds are moving towards the north up to 20 miles an hour. Indiana, up to 25 miles per hour, moving towards the north. Illinois. Much of the state, generally, winds are moving towards the north, but in the far northern part of Illinois, winds are shifting towards the west, towards Iowa, where there's a surface low pressure there, which we'll get to in a moment. Much of the state, winds are blowing up to 20 to 30 miles an hour. Elsewhere, quite light. Kentucky, temperatures are in the 80s, as well as Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. Temperatures there are in the mid 70s to upper 80s. In Michigan and Wisconsin, winds very light and variable throughout much of Wisconsin, except for this far southern part of Wisconsin. They're moving towards northwest, shifting towards the west, though, up to 20 miles an hour. In the northern part of Wisconsin, winds are moving towards the north, just up to 10 miles an hour. Lower Peninsula, Michigan. The southern part, winds are moving towards the east. But winds are very light and variable elsewhere. In the upper peninsula, Michigan, as you can see, winds are moving towards the north in most parts. But light and variable in other parts of the upper peninsula, Michigan. Temperatures in the lower part of Michigan, they are in the 70s to mid-80s. Upper Peninsula, temperatures are in the 70s. Wisconsin, temperatures are in the upper 60s to mid-70s. Whew, it's quite hot. Hold on a minute. Okay, so what do we have here is that in Minnesota you have winds that are coming from the northwest, blowing up to 20 to 30 miles per hour in some places, but winds are shifting in the northern half of the state. Winds are shifting towards the north at up to 10 miles an hour. Southern half, winds are moving towards the south, becoming light at up to 10 miles an hour there. Temperatures all across the state, they're in the 70s. Iowa, you have winds generally coming from the north in the northern half of the state, but the southern half winds are shifting towards the northeast. Throughout like the northeastern and even southeastern part of the state, winds are up to 25 miles per hour. There's a surface low pressure center located near Waterloo. Temperatures all across the state, they're in the 70s. Missouri. So you can see much of the state of Missouri, winds are coming from the south. They're blowing up to 20 to 30 miles per hour in west central Missouri. But the northwestern corner of the state, winds are coming from the northwest, shifting towards the northeast. Temperatures all across the state, northern half, they're in the 70s. Central and even the southern parts of Missouri, they're in the 80s still because of a cold front. Go to Kansas and Nebraska, where the eastern halves of both states, so winds are coming from the north but shifting towards the east in Kansas. In the western halves of each state, winds are coming from the north, but then they're shifting towards the west in both states. But the strongest winds in both states are up to 20 to 30 miles an hour. Temperatures in Kansas, they're in the mid-70s to low 90s. Nebraska, temperatures are in the mid-60s to low 80s. In the Dakotas, you have winds that are coming from the northwest, shifting towards down south, with winds moving up to 20 to 30 miles per hour, maybe a little higher in a few places. In the Dakotas, you do have temperatures that are in the mid-60s to low 80s. Let's go to Northern Rockies. The Northern Rockies, winds very light and variable in the central part of Montana. But in both sides of Montana, you have winds that are coming from the west, blowing up to 20 miles an hour. Eastern part, winds are shifting towards the southeast at up to 20 to 30 miles an hour there. Some places, though, Idaho, northern half of the state, winds are moving towards the east at up to no more than 20 miles an hour, but in the southern half, winds are actually moving towards the southeast. In some places, up to 20 to 30 miles an hour. Wyoming, you have winds that are generally blowing towards the south, but it's not really towards the south exactly, but it's just in general, though. Some places, winds are up to 20 to 30 miles an hour. Elsewhere, very light. Montana, the temperatures are in the 70s to low 80s. Northern Idaho, temperatures are in the upper 60s to low 80s. Southern half, they're in the 80s. Wyoming, temperatures are in they range from 64 in Gillette all the way to 84 in Rock Springs. So eastern half of Colorado, winds are coming from the east, blowing up to 20 to 30 miles per hour in some places. Western half, winds are coming from the northwest, shifting towards the east, but becoming light and variable as the winds approach towards the central part of the state, in the Rockies particularly. Temperatures in Colorado, they range from 73 in Colorado Springs to 95 in Junction. Utah, Winds for the most part, they're blowing towards the southeast, up to 20 to 30 miles an hour, maybe a little higher in a few places. In the northern half of the state, temperatures are in the 80s, southern half mid 80s to mid hundreds. Nevada, in the northern half of the state, winds are coming from the north, blowing up to 20 miles an hour. Winds are very light and variable in some places in the southern half, but in the far southern part, winds are moving towards the east at up to 20 miles per hour also. Northern half temperatures are in the 80s to mid 90s, southern half mid 90s to upper hundreds. New Mexico, eastern half of the state, winds are coming from the east, blowing up to 20 to 30 miles an hour, converging with westerly winds in the western half of the state, blowing up to 20 to 30 or maybe 35 miles per hour in the southwestern corner of the state. In the eastern half, winds are blowing up to 30 miles an hour, though. Temperatures all across the state, they're in the upper 80s to low hundreds. Arizona, in the southern half of the state, winds are coming from the southwest, shifting towards the east, blowing up to 20 to 30, maybe 35 miles an hour in some places. Northern half winds are straight up going towards the east. Temperatures in the northern half of the state, they range from 84 in Flagstaff to 97 in Kingman. Southern half, 79 in Alpine to 107 in both Phoenix and Yuma. So let's take a look at California, where winds are very strong offshore in the northern part of California. Winds that are blowing towards the coast, especially on the coastal part in northern California, they're blowing up to 20 to 30, maybe up to 40 miles an hour in some places on the beach, but in the southern and central part of coastal California, winds are blowing at no more than 20 miles per hour. And they're moving towards the northeast in southern central California. Northern California, winds are coming from the north, shifting towards the east, but becoming somewhat light and variable in some places. But in some places, like north of LA, winds blowing up to 30 miles an hour. Start off with temperatures at 70 in San Diego, 82 in LA, 111 in Indio, 107 in both Fresno and Bakersfield. Temperatures are in the 80s to low 90s. In the Bay Area, 104 in Sacramento, 106 in Chico, 109 in Redding, and 62 in Eureka. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of talking, folks. It's really tiring me out already. I really need to come up with a more efficient way of giving you guys a national weather discussion. Whew, I'm like a one-man show. Hold on, let me put on the AC real quick. I'll be right back. And a sip of water real quick. Yeah, my brain is tired. Oh boy. I'm getting a brain tumor. Okay, let me see the chat real quick. If there's any. Okay. Nothing so far. Okay. In Washington State, winds are moving towards the east generally. Central part of Washington, winds blowing up to 20 to 30 miles per hour. Oregon, winds are moving towards the south. Some places up to 20 to 30 miles per hour, but the coastal parts of both states, about 20 to 30, maybe some places up to 40 miles an hour, and sustained winds. Temperatures in Oregon, they are in the 80s. Washington, temperatures are in the 80s to low 90s. Now we talk about gusts. Well, got strong gusts throughout much of Texas, up to 40 miles an hour in some places, all the way up to Missouri. All because of severe weather, but actual readings tell you the truth more than I can tell you. Because those are just estimates, not real data in real time. You'll get them at the local National Weather Service or even local citizens' observation readings. Those that actually do record the weather. Then you get strong winds up to 40 miles an hour in the Dakotas. Desert Southwest up to 50. Especially in Northern California and Oregon. Offshore though. High humidity along the East Coast, especially in the upper Mississippi Valley, and even the lower Mississippi Valley too. Rainfall accumulation. In the upper Mississippi Valley, parts of the Great Lakes region, up to 2 to 3 inches of rain, all the way down to Missouri. The Ozarks up to 2. And the Front Range of the Rockies, from the Panhandle of Texas to northeastern Colorado, up to 2 inches of rain. Go here. Sorry about that, folks. So assume this is right now, folks. So we do have a trough over the Dakotas, and another trough over Iowa, a ridge over the mid-Atlantic, and another ridge over the Pacific Northwest, which means wet weather is in the northern plains, upper Mississippi Valley, especially parts of the Great Lakes region too, all the way down towards the Ozarks. Now we go to 24 hours from now. A trough will occur over Lake Superior, and another one over the southern plains. An upper level ridge, upper level high will be over Southern California. It will lead to a ridge over the west coast, and another ridge just over New England, which means that there's going to be a lot of wet weather from Texas all the way towards the Great Lakes in New England. And the Great Lakes, they're going to get more wet weather. Some storms, actually. Sunday night, dip in the jet stream over the Great Lakes region, and a ridge over the Great Basin and the Rockies, northern Rockies, and a ridge over and off of New England, which means there's going to be more wet weather for northern New England all the way towards the Ohio Valley. Then finally, Monday night, sorry about that, folks. It's going to be a trough, flat trough, just near Hudson Bay. For the most part, folks, there is a zonal flow which means there's less weather to go around. In California, there is an upper level high, so that means less storms, but it doesn't mean that there isn't. Well, only time will tell. Now we go here, talk about the 3-day forecast. Hold on a minute, folks. Just need to stretch for a little bit because I'm getting getting a headache. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I need a quick drink, folks. My brain is dehydrated. Oh my god. Whew. It's gonna start from tomorrow morning. Right here. No. Right here. Okay, so that means, what do we have for tomorrow morning? We do have plenty of warm lows throughout the South, Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, as well as the desert Southwest and the Central Valley, California. Chilly temperatures in the Rockies and parts of the Dakotas too. Yeah, I'm getting a really bad headache, folks. Tomorrow night is going to be plenty of heat throughout the South and Atlantic, eastern Montana, and desert Southwest, California, Great Basin, leeward side of the Cascades too. Chilly temperatures in the Colorado Rockies and Maine too. Sunday morning, a lot of warm lows all across the South, Mid-Atlantic, even Western New York, desert Southwest, and even Central Valley, California. Chilly temperatures in the Rockies. Sunday night, there's going to be a lot of hot weather, hot temperatures in the South, Great Plains, eastern Montana, and much of the West too, except for the Rockies. Monday morning, plenty of warm lows throughout places like much of the South, Mid-Atlantic, desert Southwest, Central Valley, California. Chilly lows in the Rockies. Plenty of hot temperatures in the South, Great Lakes, and much of the West, with the exception of the Cascades and the Rockies. Let's go to Dew Point. Plenty of moisture. The south, the Mississippi Valley, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, much of the East Coast, desert Southwest, and even the West Coast. Tomorrow night, a lot of moisture throughout the East Coast, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region, Mississippi Valley, the rest of the South, Southern Plains, and the West Coast. Sunday morning, a lot of moisture along the East Coast, the rest of the South, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region, Mississippi Valley, Southern Plains, and Central Plains too, desert Southwest, and the West Coast. Sunday night, a lot of moisture all across the East, rest of the South, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region, Mississippi Valley, and the eastern half of the Great Plains, and much of the West Coast. Monday morning, a lot of humidity all across the East Coast, the rest of the South, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region, Mississippi Valley, and as well as the central Great Plains too, and even coastal part of the Pacific Northwest and parts of the desert Southwest too. Finally, a lot of moisture still going on the East Coast, the South, much of the Midwest in general, with the exception of the western half of the Great Plains region, and even plenty of moisture throughout much of the West Coast. Let's talk about Cape. Plenty of Cape throughout the Gulf Coast, southeast of the Mid-Atlantic, as well as the Mid-Mississippi Valley, parts of the Ohio Valley, Southern Great Plains, even parts of the desert Southwest too. A lot of convection throughout the South, most notably east of the Mississippi, all the way towards the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, the Southeast, and even towards parts of the Great Lakes region too. Sunday morning, a lot of convection throughout the Gulf Coast, Mid-Atlantic, all the way towards eastern Great Lakes region, the rest of the South, and even parts of the desert Southwest, all the way towards the west central part of the Great Plains. Sunday night, plenty of convection throughout the Southeast, the rest of the Gulf Coast, parts of the Ohio Valley, and the interior Northeast, as well as Cascades, and even central part of the Great Plains. Monday morning, plenty of Cape throughout the Gulf Coast, the Southeast, Mid-Atlantic, Southern Plains, lower to mid-Mississippi Valley towards the Ohio Valley too. And finally, Monday night, plenty of convection throughout South, all the way towards New York, the Ohio Valley, Upper Mississippi Valley, even the entirety of the Great Plains, parts of the desert Southwest too. Let's talk about precipitation. I need water real quick. feel like my brain's going elsewhere. It's like I'm not concentrating. It's like I'm about to talk gibberish and be more anxious for no reason. Sorry about that, folks. I'm just tired. Bye. I love streaming for you guys. Because, that's what I want to do. I don't know. Even though, I still haven't gotten many viewers since my hiatus, but just love doing what I'm doing. But except I need to do better, on my streams, so I can talk to you guys, talk about the weather and such. Because it's more interactive. That way, that it'd be a lot more fun than watching the news, if you know what I mean. Yeah, because all the news is all negativity. But here, just like to chill. So anyway, let's get back to weather. What we got for tomorrow morning? Some clouds and a few showers throughout much of the Northeast. Similar story in the South, with storms in the Southeast, Southern Plains, the Central Plains too, Great Lakes region as well, and Upper Mississippi Valley. Stray clouds and showers along parts of the West Coast. And even some showers and clouds in the Ohio Valley too, I forgot to mention that. Okay, so what about tomorrow night? Well, tomorrow night, some plenty of clouds, showers, and storms throughout the East Coast. Much of the South, but severe storms will occur throughout the Southern Plains, the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region. A little bit of clouds in the Dakotas. And some storms will occur in New Mexico, Colorado, and especially the desert Southwest. We'll get some clouds, showers, and a few storms. By Sunday morning, plenty of clouds, showers, some storms throughout the East Coast, especially in the South, but gets worse in the Southeast and the Southern Plains, especially the Ozarks and the Mid-Mississippi Valley. Things are lighting up in the many parts of the Great Lakes region and the Northern Plains. Just some scattered clouds, stray clouds and showers along the West Coast, mostly offshore though. By Sunday night, plenty of wet weather. Well, just some spotty clouds, showers, and storms throughout the East Coast. Much of the South, but most notably in the rest of the South. Southern Plains, Texas, all the way towards the Mid-Mississippi Valley, like Illinois. And as well as New Mexico, Colorado, and parts of the desert Southwest. Parts of the Great Basin too. And even parts of Northern California and Oregon. And then we have Monday morning. By Monday morning, there are going to be clouds, showers, and storms throughout the East Coast. The Ohio Valley going towards Texas. Mid-Mississippi Valley, Southern Plains. Parts of the desert Southwest will get some scattered, a few clouds, showers, and storms. And a few stray clouds and showers along some parts of the West Coast too. Finally, many places throughout the East Coast will get some cloud showers and a few storms, especially the rest of the South, but most notably in the Mid-Mississippi Valley. And the Dakotas will get some showers and storms. The Rockies too, desert Southwest, Great Basin as well. Alright, well folks, that's it for the national weather discussion. I know I gave myself too many breaks, but that's just too much talking on my end. Let's go back to the radar. Let's play that for you guys. Let's start continuing Minecraft right about now. There we go. And it says, awesome. And I thank you for that, Minecraft. It was a lot of work talking about the weather all in one take. It got to a point where I got so tired and got myself a headache and a little bit of anxiety because I would tear myself apart and try to kill myself. But not because I'm suicidal, but because I'm dying from exhaustion. Because I keep talking to myself. I talk myself on non-stop with a few breaks in between. Alright, let's continue where we left off right now. Just need a quick drink of water, folks. Now, where are we? Okay, so this is north. Yeah, I'm just gonna face north right here, and just so I can take a quick sip. Okay. Yeah, I just finished the whole bottle of water that I just finished. Yeah, just need a breather. Okay, so it's 10:01 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Welcome to the stream for those of you just tuning in. My name is Marlon, and this is episode 49 of Mushroom City in Minecraft. I just got out of national weather discussion. And now I just need a breather real quick. Okay. Now back to... Okay. So right now I gotta bring that down. I don't know if this is... I don't know if this is the right direction. So how you guys doing? You guys had a good day? Or you guys wish I had better days? Let me know in the chat. Feel free. I won't bite. Yeah, I talk too much and... Yeah, because of my weather discussion. Couldn't even, give myself, catch a breath. Because I was talking a lot. Because there's just so much that I wanted to talk about, but... It's just that I need to breathe first. That's the number one lesson that I have to, put myself through. But I'm only doing it for you guys. Because you guys are more awesome. I'm doing it because I love you guys. And the more I stream for you guys, the more I try my best to create a community for all of you. For weather and gaming enthusiasts. And that's coming from an actual meteorologist like me. And a part-time gamer like me. I can talk about anime with you guys. Although there are some anime that I need to watch, others I'm well aware of. So if you guys want to talk about anime, go ahead. I I might come up with a poll for you guys on my IG story just to see, just expressing my curiosity whether if any of my weather friends, or even my closest friends who are not weather friends, who are either into One Piece or at least know of One Piece. If they don't know One Piece without me talking about it or whatever, or mentioning anything about it, well, I just feel like as though that I feel isolated, alone. I know a lot of people like say, "Oh, that's just too many episodes." True. I mean, I didn't say that I watched 1,000 episodes of One Piece overnight, because that's just too much work. Way too much work. It takes a long time. In fact, I remember watching One Piece back in 2005 on Toonami. It used to be a 4Kids version of One Piece, but then just about a couple months later, they stopped airing One Piece on Toonami because Toonami, they started a hiatus that lasted throughout my entire high school career. And then by the time I was done with my first semester in college back in 2012, Toonami came back, but it then ended up on Adult Swim instead of Cartoon Network. Whew. Yeah, the sun is rising in the city, so it's nice. I got back into One Piece, like right around the same time I got back into Naruto, but I only got back into it just to watch the uncut version, the uncensored one, not the 4Kids version. It was right around 2013 I started I started rewatching both Naruto and One Piece. But I actually started watching the uncut version of those shows. And I liked it. A lot. We are approaching Northwest 20th Street. Like that. It's that creep. Yep. Whew. Here we go. Yeah, now we're in the northeastern part of the city. So yeah, like I said, I got back into One Piece back in 2013. Started from scratch, rewatched from the ones back in 2005. But instead of rewatching the exact version, which was the 4Kids version, I actually watched the uncensored version. And I've been watching One Piece ever since. Although, not like non-stop though, there were sometimes that I've stopped along the way because sometimes I'm caught up with the dubs, and then I wait for the next batch of dubs to come out. Particularly like right around, I would say, since probably 2017 or 2018. And then when the pandemic hit, I was able to watch a lot more. Because the dubs, they came out in full force. Even after the pandemic. But another reason particularly like last year, the number of dubs had caught up with the number of the original version, the subbed version of One Piece. And then probably earlier this year, the subs finally got to a point where they got the animators to catch up, and then off they went, and the dubs fell behind again, which meant that it's going to be another few more weeks till the next batch of One Piece episodes come out. So yeah, what's the sad part is that, while in a way I do feel accomplished that I managed to catch up on the anime version of One Piece, I kind of feel like as though that none of my friends ever caught up with me at all. Not even tried. Well, most of them did not try. Others, they did, but that's as far as they went. It's hard to talk about, sometimes I feel alone, when it comes to One Piece, because I'm the only one who's watching it. Except for my bro and my step bro. What about my friends? Yeah, I'm waiting for them. I haven't hung out with them in a long time. I really wish that I'd spend more time, just enough more time, just for them to start watching One Piece so that they can get sucked in and watch as many episodes as possible. Or maybe get to a point where they finally have caught up to me, which could take months or a few years. But of course they don't have time for that, which I completely understand. It's not their fault, no way. Nah, it's just there's just too many episodes of One Piece. I mean, I'll be willing to rewatch the dubbed versions of One Piece, but I would have to watch it with my friends. Just so that they get it. Just so that we can talk about it. I don't mean to, like boss them around. That's not what I wanted to do. I just really miss my friends. Sometimes it's difficult to enjoy when you're the only one who enjoys stuff like this, like One Piece or Naruto. It's hard to enjoy. You're close. Yeah, it's hard to enjoy when you don't have an experience to share. Just to have fun. Oh boy. Yeah, I gotta ask my broadcast meteorologists, those who I went to school with, who know other broadcast meteorologists who actually watch One Piece. Just so that I can be able to talk with them more often. But lately, I don't feel it. Oh yeah, by the way, today was 7-Eleven day, and I got myself a free Slurpee. It's more of a traditional thing for me. Yeah, because every July 11th, anywhere between 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., I get myself a free Slurpee. But it has to be small though, and I can only get one. But that's fine. But it's worth it. Post it on my IG. Although, I feel like I'm the only one who enjoys it. No one wants to talk to me about that anymore. It's like, kind of like, reminds me of like when I was a kid. I wanted to have fun and invite people for some fun, but unfortunately, I didn't get much. and it feels like as though no one wants to have fun with me. You know, this is the reason why. Like, I feel like as though that that I'm the lamest person. That I'm not a person who's good at inviting people, and then after that, a lot of people were not thrilled. Just wanted to have fun with the guys, you know. Just wanted to have fun with the guys, even on my birthdays. None of my friends had ever asked me if we can go out and meet up together, you know, just to have fun on my birthday. Whatever happened to that? What happened? And the worst part is that with many people I know that are no longer here close to home, that's the reason why I try to you know, talk to people as much as possible. But unfortunately, I feel like as though that I'm not wanted anymore. Those, you know, the times are different, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right at all. Look, I get, you know, busy lives and all, but just kind of feel like as though I'm being left out. I feel totally left out. There were opportunities that were squandered, but unfortunately, I'll never get that chance again. Even if they try to, but they'll probably do it whenever I'm busy. And even when I try to make a chance, they will get busy too. This is my life. My life is always like, oh, I want to get things, but I never got it. And then the opposite is true, where like, hold on a minute. Okay, like I said, this is my life. My life is like, I want to get something, but I don't get it. Or rather, I want something, I don't get it. I don't want something, but I get it. It's like life doesn't want to make up its mind. That's how it is. That's how it is for me. I always get the worst of the last drop in the bucket. It's sad, but it's true. That's how my life is. Sure, I'm grateful for a lot of things. Yay. Sometimes I just feel unfulfilled because I really want to feel like joyful. I'm grateful, but joyful is a whole different story. It's like I'm not feeling it. I just want to have fun again. But lately I'm not having fun. It's hard to have fun when you have the people you want to have fun with in your life who are just either too busy or just don't want to hang out with you anymore. Thinks you're pretty useless. Right now we are along Northeast 50th Avenue, and it's 10:31 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Welcome to the stream for those of you just tuning in. My name is Marlon, and this is episode 49 of Mushroom City of Minecraft. Right now, I'm heading back to the western edge of the city, where we're gonna keep doing the process of like adding every 5 avenues and streets from west to east, because from east to west it doesn't work, because I tried that many times before. It doesn't work for some reason. Yeah, in fact, like just recently, or rather, there are 2 people or 3 people that I wanted to hang out with, actually. Sometime between my birthday and even like probably up until the end of the month. Like, I have one who I wanted to hang out with, who is currently a broadcast meteorologist. But thing is that she's too busy, which I understand. Then I tried another friend, but that other friend, he did try to invite me, but no one really followed through, so the plan was busted. And then I tried another friend, different one, who is a broadcast meteorologist, but had a health issue. And I just wanted to meet up with him, just to see how he's doing, because that's what friends are for, check up on each other, you know. But unfortunately, those opportunities were squandered. Now my summers are going to be lame again. At this rate. And many opportunities, why not be so opportunistic? Why not be much of an opportunity? Like, for example, like, I already had a day off on the 4th of July, but my next one is on Labor Day. But the thing is, I gotta meet up with my bro, because he'll be back here, and I cannot hang out with friends at that time. I can probably do that at the end of September or early October. Those, I do have some days that I'm off. This is Northwest 50th Avenue. I'm doing everything in my power just to create opportunities. just so that any of my friends I ask who are available while I'm available will be willing to finally meet up with me. I really want that to happen before Labor Day, before my brother shows up. But unfortunately, it's going to be the same old, same old. More time for me, more time for streaming, no problem. No problem. I'm so sorry that you guys had to hear me, complain so much about what I'm doing right now. But actually coming from one side of me, that could not help but, say what's on my mind, I mean, I'm just saying what's on my mind, Sometimes it helps, but other times it doesn't really make me feel good because knowing that I spill out my feelings on the stream so unnecessarily that it should not be a thing for me in the first place. That I should have just kept it inside of me and just only keep it to myself or to anyone I trust. Whew. Yeah, I can hear background music, folks. I think I can hear background music, folks. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, it's nighttime in the city. Oh, man. Ugh. Okay. So far we only got about 19 minutes left of the stream. Then we'll get to the part where we do the weather topic of the day. Then we end the stream. Cause yeah, I gotta get to bed. Also, I got other stuff to do. Yeah, I had so much. Yeah, I spent so much time talking about the weather in the first like hour of the stream that I had to catch myself a couple breaths because yeah, I was talking too much. Yeah, I let out more words so than I can speak, which made me lose my breath and made me feel more anxious, you know, for no reason. It's just nuts. Oh boy. Yeah, more background music. All right. Yeah, I feel like there's a mosquito inside the room. Oh man, I feel like there's a mosquito that's inside the bedroom because I can feel because I'm scratching my leg right now. Well, it's daytime in the city. Yippee! Yay! Yeah, you know, the thing was that last Friday, even though like I never really got to go outside, well, except for getting Chinese food, that I did manage to have a little bit of fun with a broadcast meteorologist who was on air during that time, during the evening. it was really nice actually, and because yeah, in a way, she actually like made me feel less lonely during my lonely times on the 4th of July. Although it was not in person, but yeah, in a way, kind of made up for yeah, me not being able to have fun with my guy friends I was expected to hang out with, but it is what it is, unfortunately. It is what it is. You know, me not hanging out in person. But at least I had, at least I had, at least I had fun. Yeah, with her. That mattered more than the lows, because because me having fun with a meteorologist was more of a high for me for the 4th of July that made up for the low of me not being able to enjoy the 4th of July with my friends in person. And I thanked her for it. Even though I didn't mention, but I thanked her for, the fun that I had. Now it's back to our regularly scheduled program. Me trying to find the time not only for myself but for my other friends. But unfortunately, so far it's failing. Only 6 minutes until the end of the stream. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with people outside. Making some weird noises. Of course, tomorrow we're going to play Kingdom Hearts right around 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. tomorrow. I got stuff to do tomorrow. Go to my first car wash, and then fuel, and then go shopping, and then buy food. Well, maybe buy some restaurant food, and then eat a good lunch, and then get ready for the stream, and then stream, and then continue some other things. Like, there's one thing I really wanted to do, and that's for me to convert the 3D globe I have that I made out of index cards into a 3D globe so that I can turn it into a 2D image of a global map, just so that I can do stuff with it. And not only that, but also draw on a 3D globe so that I can map out things like tectonic plates and the directions of each tectonic plate. Just to get a better idea of how the geology in every part of the world works. And after that, I do other stuff, especially weather. But, all of this, it's because I've actually found out that there is such thing as a community for, well, what I've found out is that they are world builders. And that is something that I have not really thought of in terms of the name of that very community that I was looking for, and I thought it was something else. It turns out it's a thing, and that is something that I've not really considered the name of that hobby that I was interested in for a long time, like since 2009. Yeah, it's now that I have, now I can learn more about the whole concept of world building in depth, just so that I can improve more on my map making skills, my fictional cartography, as well as have a better understanding of the geology of my fictional world, glaciation, and especially the other components of geology. And and let's not forget about meteorology, which I would definitely look back at my notes that I've written in college and all my books that I got during my studies, so that I can go further into my fictional world map and just learn about not only about the weather but the climate for every part of my fictional globe. Yeah, there's just so much building for me to do. Yeah, and this right here, this is part of my world building hobby. My world building hobby is made up of a lot of other hobbies. Sublime Corp, it's massive, it's ongoing. I'm actually doing this for you guys. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. Alright, just gotta finish with this part here, and then after that we go transition back to the radar map, and then we'll do the weather topic of the day, and then end the stream there. Stupid. You jackass! Fuck off. Here we go. Alright. Now this is north. Right here. Yeah, this is facing north. Alright. Now let's switch gears to here. Alright. Now, let's talk about the weather topic of the day. So, what is it? Well, I'll tell you what it is, folks. Just bear with me on this. Hold on a minute, I think I can hear background music. Sorry about that, folks. Alright, just hold on a minute, folks. I got something. Okay, here it is. What is the difference between the surface and upper level high and low pressure areas? Okay, so here it is. Surface and upper level low and high pressure systems differ in their location and how they affect weather. Surface systems are closer to the Earth's surface, while upper level systems are higher in the atmosphere. Both types influence weather patterns, but their effects vary depending on their location and strength. Well, this is a more simplified version of the weather topic of the day, folks, but it would be a lot better if I were to just repeat the weather topic of the day in a different time, but right now I'm just going to leave it there for the time being. Hold on. All right, I'm back, so sorry about that for the noise outside. So, like I said, this weather topic of the day, it's too simple to consider that to be the weather topic of the day, but I'm just going to leave it there. But I will make a better version, a more detailed version of that weather topic of the day in another time, but not too close though, like tomorrow, because, I just wanted to be a little bit apart, if you know what I mean, folks. But in the meantime, let's just leave it at that. And I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. But of course, while we do the National Weather discussion, we will do Kingdom Hearts afterwards. Kingdom Hearts 2, I mean. Just so that we can keep going with the storyline because it's becoming more interesting. We'll learn more about Organization 13 and as well as what's going on afterwards. All right, I love you guys. Stay safe out there regardless of the weather. Peace out, everybody. Love you all. Signing out.